Leading the way on air, online, and on the go. From WLWT, this is Issues.
Hello, welcome to Issues. I'm Jan-Michele Lemon Kearney of SESH Communications and the Cincinnati Herald. We have a lot to talk about today. A little later, we're going to talk about a great music series, and I know some of you go every year in Eden Park. We're going to talk about It's Commonly Jazz. Also, the Black and White Cancer Survivors Ball is coming up. There's also Making Strides, Men in Pink. We've got a lot of health stuff to talk about, too, with Dr. Keith Melvin and Bill Mabrey. First, we're going to talk to some folks from Black Lives Matter Cincinnati. So let me welcome Brian Taylor, the original organizer of the Cincinnati Black Lives Matter Cincinnati, and I'm going to try to say this with the Italian accent, Mario Martone.
Perfecto.
Okay.
Yeah, wonderful.
Who originally from Italy, but now you've been in the States a while, and now you're here in Cincinnati, and you joined Black Lives Matter Cincinnati early on, I understand from Brian.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Welcome both of you. We want to just give me a quick history about or a quick synopsis of how Black Lives Matter is organized, and then we want to talk about this project that you guys have, CPD, out of CPS.
Well, I'm just one of the organizers. There were 8 people who kind of incensed with what we saw, starting with Trayvon Martin. And then escalating with Mike Brown. A number of us found ourselves out on the streets protesting with others throughout the city, and I think it's a national phenomenon. People came out in the streets and organically found each other. We decided that we would benefit by organizing together, and that was the birth of our local group. We took inspiration from the name Black Lives Matter, so this was before there was any real concrete formations on the national level, and we just went with it, and ever since have been charting our own course.
And so we want to say, so Black Lives Matter Cincinnati is its own group. It's not really part of the national, though you do some things with the national group, as lots of people do. But Black Lives Matter Cincinnati is its own independent group. Yeah,
we support any organizations that are trying to advance the struggle for Black liberation. And there are many. It's often misreferred to as the Black Lives Matter movement. It's a Black liberation movement of which many organizations are a part. So we have a more extended and a slightly different view of how we carry things out. But we're definitely support anybody who's moving forward like that. Okay, and then
Mario, so how did you get involved?
Well, I would say that I was very sympathetic towards the Black liberation struggle even before coming to the U.S. I mean, in our circle, at least in our progressive circle, people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, even the Black Panther Party were very popular. And I have to say, I came here for school. I did my PhD in the U.S. And I realized that actually the U.S. was far more racist than I thought in the beginning. And
you were kind of surprised.
Yeah, and I didn't come here thinking that the U.S. was the holy grail, but it really surprised me further. And then, in my opinion, Black Lives Matter Cincinnati had done an amazing job. So from the get-go, I started going to meetings, and then, through hard work and commitment, I gained the trust of the leaders, and so I joined the steering committee of Black Lives Matter Cincinnati. In my opinion, it's one of the best organizations I've ever been part of.
Yeah, I was going to say congratulations. We talked about this a little bit on the march that you guys had last month, and I think there were at least 5,000 people there, and I mean it was phenomenal. Everyone marched to Washington Park, and so I was saying you're great. You guys are really good at organizing. I mean that's fantastic. But let's talk about the structure, because there are different committees. And so people can get involved in different areas, but one of the committees that you guys want to talk about is CPD out of CPS. Let's talk about that.
Yes, so really briefly, I mean, the structure of Black Lives Matter is quite complicated, especially now that the organization is growing fast. But we essentially are structured in subcommittees, so we have like these semi-independent subgroups that organize events or protests or rallies or any kind of things about specific topics. As I said, I'm one of the members of the CPD out of CPS subcommittee group. CPD out of CPS, just to be clear, stands for Cincinnati Police Department out of Cincinnati Public School. And basically deals with the bigger issue of how racism and mass incarcerations comes out of even in from the education system in America.
So you're saying you get the police officers out of the public schools?
Right. So the name is a little catchy. So and you have to choose a name for some committee and campaign. But I think so. And this is definitely one of the focus. We want to have the police out of schools because we believe that the security. Just to be clear, schools have security, and on top of the securities have police. And unfortunately, as usual, the police behave very differently in white schools and black schools. And we have seen, even in recent history, a lot of videos on how the cops can be very aggressive to students. So we want that, but it's crucial to say that this is one aspect. We antagonize the whole issue of zero tolerance policies. So one of the goal is that to get the police out of school and use the money that the city of Cincinnati spends to have police officers in schools to fund restorative justice trainings and art programs. So we really believe that the way we integrate people is through education and non-repression.
That's wonderful. And so a quick overview of the teach-in, and you've got some points here, but tell us about that.
Right. So really briefly.
And we only have a minute left, so make it fast.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so well, we have been doing a lot of teachings in different neighborhoods in Cincinnati, and we basically go through those teachings and explain what the school-to-prison pipeline is and how the schools in this country resemble much more prison, especially for people of color. Okay. And the next teaching is very important. It's going to be on August 27th in St. Vincent de Paul Society, 4848. Winston Avenue from 3 to 6. It's a Saturday. Okay.
Now let me just say this. Your next organizational general body meeting is August 15th. And so people are welcome to come. Anyone interested in learning more about Black Lives Matter Cincinnati, getting involved, they're welcome to come. It's open to the public. And that one, I understand, is at New Prospect Baptist Church, 1580 Summit Road.
Exactly.
Right, and that's at 6:15 p.m. So on Monday, August 15th. And you have several more. You have another one coming up. So people need, is there a phone number to call, Jeff said, real fast? Or should people just go to your Facebook page, Black Lives Matter Cincinnati?
They can go to our Facebook page, Black Lives Matter Cincinnati, or they can email us for further information at blacklivescincy with a Y, C-I-N-C-Y, at gmail.com. Okay, Mario O'Brien, thank you so much. Great work you're doing. Thank you for doing that. You have to come back soon, and we'll have to have more time. For sure. Okay, of course, we will connect you to Black Lives Matter Cincinnati through wlwt.com. Stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to hear more of that music later. Hey, so now we've got Bill Mabrey, welcome, and Dr. Keith Hollywood Melvin, welcome back. So good to see you. So we're going to really talk about the Cancer Survivors Ball, but just give us a quick second about Making Strides, Men in Pink.
Real Men Wear Pink is a campaign that just started, inaugural years this year. And we just had the breakfast this morning. It's part of Making Strides for Breast Cancer.
And this is Mercy Health's program?
No, that's actually American Cancer Society's program. American Cancer Society, okay. 15 or 16 guys are part of the Real Men Wear Pink campaign. Me and Odell Owens and Dehani Jones and Marvin Butts. We are the African-American guys who are part of the contingent. So we're just part of that program. So we're looking forward to coming back and having a show regarding that later. Okay, let's do that. All right. So now we want to talk about the Black and White Cancer Survivors Ball that I understand started with 100 people. Yeah, 125. 125. Yeah. And now, I mean, last year you guys were close to 1,200. Close to it with 1,100 and... I remember being at the Sharonville Convention Center, and it was so huge. It's like, okay, they're gonna have to even leave here. So well, we've outgrown two venues actually in the 7 years. Yep. So this is our 8th year, Jan, and what we have now
and I should say, Dr. Melvin, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we've got a really cool picture up here for those for those looking at TV of the two of you all dressed up, looking good in those tuxes.
That does look good too.
Yeah, oh yeah, all right, okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But anyway, this is our 8th year, and the date is a little different. It's October 22nd. Ordinarily, we've tried to get the first weekend in November, but the Duke Energy Center was booked for the first 2 weeks, and we could not change because we have to have the size of the Duke Energy Center because we anticipate over 1,200 attendees this year.
Right, probably more because you were almost at 1,200 last year, and every year it just keeps growing. And you invite cancer survivors to come back, and I know there's a really emotional part where all the cancer survivors, and there are just hundreds and hundreds who come forward.
And last year we had a balloon drop, which you missed. I'm looking forward to you being there again this year.
Wow.
We had a great turnout. We arranged for 1,000 people. 100 tables, and the week before we had to add 10 tables, and then when we got there that night, we added the 111th table, and we just said, that's it, we'll have to stop. Everybody else will have to come next year.
Well, and so we want to let people know they should get their tickets in advance, right? Absolutely. How do they do that? Where do they call for the tickets?
We've got a couple of ways. We've got a website they can go to, the Black and White Cancer Survivors Foundation.com.
Okay, Black and White Cancer Survivors Foundation.com. Okay.
Okay. Also, you can call, my home number is 513-742-4388. I would say also call Dr. Melvin's office.
Okay.
585-9500.
And they'll get more information about that. Of course, we advertise in the Herald and in the Inquirer and other venues, so people will see this advertisement.
And wlwt.com will have a link to the foundation.
To the foundation,
people can buy tickets online, I guess.
Right.
Now, tickets are only $60, Jan, and that is the most economical black tie affair in the state of Ohio.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful affair. This year, just as last year, we will have a reception. Last year we had the reception from 6 to 7. The event was from 7 to 11. This year we're starting at 5:30.
Starting early.
Interestingly, people were there, and I would say this: people are from all demographics and all walks of life.
Absolutely.
They're from as far as California, Washington D.C., Georgia, and South Carolina. People have come from all over the country, and this is different because we're not raising money. We're still raising awareness about cancer, and what we're doing is encouraging people to get screened, so that early detection, which has been the rule of survivorship, is
early
definitely something we're pushing.
Absolutely.
Ignoring it won't make it go away. Go ahead and find out. And as you said, I mean, in your case, you didn't even realize you had your prostate cancer, right?
It was
just it was a total surprise.
And now I'm a 16-year survivor, so I proudly say that all the time.
That's fantastic. That is great.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Mabrey, now you were you with Dr. Melvin helped to found this ball. What inspired you?
What happened is that I was, my wife had breast cancer. I think she's going on 8 or 9 years survivor.
Great.
And she was down. She was down, and I never actually knew anything like that as far as cancer goes.
Right.
And so I wanted to have a party, and I asked Doc would he MC it, and you know, Doc and I have been knowing each other over 35 years.
Oh, wow.
So when Doc came in, it just made it, just shot it up.
Wow, that's great. So now we're going into the seventh,
the 8th year.
The 8th year. They're going into the 8th year. Oh, it's going to be, and only $60. Is really great.
It's only $60. It's a black tie affair.
It's a black tie.
Beautiful
People
event,
look
dinner.
Good. Yeah.
You know, it's worked by word of mouth. Lincoln Ware is our master of ceremonies.
Oh, he's good. He's always good.
This year we have Eugene Gosson Triage as the music background. Our reception will also have a group of young musicians which will provide music for the reception. And so it's a great event. It's a great affair. It's a black tie. It's a beautiful time of the year. And we are celebrating survivors, and I believe we'll have the balloon drop again this year.
Oh, that'll be
You
great.
missed that.
Yeah, I'm going to be there this year,
Absolutely.
Eric and I will both be there. But the other thing is after the dinner, there's always dancing. There's a program, and there's always dancing, so people have a really good time. So October 22nd. So people want to get their tickets, they can go to wlwt.com. We will link you to the Black and White Cancer Survivors Ball, right, so they can get their tickets and don't be left out, right?
Also, they'll be driving, someone is going to be lucky enough to have a BMW weekend. We started last year.
That person would be me. Don't even try it. Okay. Thank you both. Stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment. That's great. you could hear that. You could sit out there at Eden Park, enjoy some great music, some good food, some friends, all because of Carolyn Wallace. It's Commonly Jazz. This is the 31st year.
31 years.
Yeah. I cannot believe it. So Jeff was saying he remembers when you were back at Swifton Commons, because you started it back then.
Yes, that was one of our summer events we did in the mall.
Right,
yeah.
and you came up with this idea to have jazz out there on, I guess, Thursday night. Has it always been Thursday night?
It's always been on Thursday, and I'm just really excited about the way we are approaching this year's lineup. Sitting at the Greenwich several months ago, listening to William Menafield, just a phenomenal artist, and decided that we were going to support Cincinnati artists.
So all local artists.
All local artists.
And we should say, now that was, who was playing? You said John Zappa.
John Zappa.
John Zappa was playing.
Was a local. Yes. So we decided to support all local artists because we have great artists, and we don't have to go to New York and Chicago to get those artists.
Yeah, there's a picture of John right there for those who are looking on television.
Yeah, so when we decided to support local artists, I went back to some of those artists and said, who would you like to play with? Do you have anybody out there special that you would like to play? And Mark Fields, who came back with Steve Wilson.
Okay.
And then John Zappa picked Ignacio Barrero. And we went after him and brought him in to play with them.
Wow, so there's Steve Wilson's picture there. We just saw Mark Fields, and there's Ignacio Barrera. And see who anyone else, or is it another picture coming up? But there's the jazz orchestra.
Contemporary Jazz Orchestra, which is coming up this Thursday.
Wow.
For It's Commonly Jazz, and we're featuring Missouri Moyo.
Oh, she's so great.
She's a great vocalist. She's been here in town, and she's trying to just sort of get in the door. Right. And we're hoping to make a debut for her at this Thursday's concert. Oh, thank goodness!
That is, So she, when she was in Atlanta a few months ago, she won an award for her Fannie Lou Hamer play.
Yes.
I know a lot of people here have seen it. She sang at the Nefertiti banquet that we had this year. She just brought the house down.
Yes.
She is. Yeah.
She's
if anyone hasn't heard Missouri, they need to go hear her.
They're in for a treat. I mean,
she's just beautiful. I mean,
It's a great lineup, and we keep jazz straight ahead. And we've been lucky to have the support of major sponsors, and the Art Museum got involved.
Wonderful.
We consider ourselves being part of that community that when we hold that event, and there's 30 Americans.
Right. Which ends at the end of this month.
Yeah.
So people need to get out and see.
So we're encouraging
Americans.
people to come early, check out the exhibit, and come on down and listen to great jazz, and then stay late because we're doing after jazz at the Greenwich. So there's more jazz going on. So we're keeping people in the community in Walnut Hills to go down and listen to some more great jazz.
So so let's just point out that the Art Museum is free, and then It's Commonly Jazz is free. So people can come out, sit under the stars out there at the Eden Park Pavilion.
It's a beautiful place.
There's food. They can buy food.
Backstage, we have food. Just Queuing, which is a new place in Walnut Hills. So we're really trying to support that.
Great barbecue, I hear. Yeah, I've got to check that out.
It's great. So.
And then your catering service. Okay, I don't know if you have time. You don't have time to do both. Okay, but
the grandkids are there, and they're doing lemonade.
Oh,
so
they're
sponsoring, they're doing lemonade. So, so you can have a great time, enjoy some good food, enjoy people. One of the things that we do, we try to get people to engage. Last year, we gave everybody a name tag.
Oh,
and so you had
to
say something to your neighbor.
Oh, that was great.
And people have build friendships over the 31 years of coming there.
Yeah, some people have been there like every year, and they come every year, and then new people come, and then kids start coming, and but it's every Thursday, starting what time?
At 6 o'clock. It's from 6 until 8.
Okay.
So it's still good time to continue the evening if you like, and I have to say that when I think about the crowd, there's my back row. There's a group of guys that have been coming since Swifton that always sit on the back row. So I tell them they motivate me to keep this event going. And there's the Williams. I mean, it's been a great
Is it phenomenal just to see that, though, and just realize you started this? I mean, you must have just one day said, oh, we should do jazz on Thursday. I mean, how does that happen?
Well, when we started doing, it wasn't just jazz. We were actually doing barbershop quartet and reggae, but jazz was our biggest turnout. So we decided to go with a full jazz event. And Fifth Third Bank actually was at the mall at that time, and they came over and said, we want to get more involved. And they've been our presenting sponsor for almost 27 years of this event.
So it's Fifth Third, it's Commonly Jazz.
Yes, yeah.
Every Thursday in August, Eden Park.
6 to 8.
6 to 8 p.m.
There's food in the backstage.
Or people can pack their own.
Pack a lunch and get on the hillside. We have a girl who does hula hooping with the kids, so it's a family event as well.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you, Carolyn. Thank you for all your work. I know there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and you've kept it going for 31 years, and we hope 31 more.
Yeah, and you know, I don't do it by myself. Alice Frazier.
Yeah, Alice is great. Yeah. Alice was coming today, but she got
airline.
Yeah, she had a little airline problem. So shout out to Alice. All right, thank you, Carolyn.
You're welcome.
Stick with us. We'll be back in a moment with some community events. Welcome back. Now we have Michael Bobo with some events for you.
First up, we have Village Life Outreach Project, Night on the Serengeti. This is going to be September 9th at 6 p.m. at the Hilton Netherland Plaza. This will be located at 36 West 5th Street, and musical artists featuring Natural Progression. For more information, call 585-8662. Next, we have the Midwest Regional Black Family Reunion, August 20th and 21st at Sawyer Point. This is a free event, and it will kick off Friday, August 19th with the Heritage Breakfast and Opening Ceremony, August 20th and 21st. There will be musical guest cameo at 6 p.m. on Saturday, and on Sunday at 5 p.m. there will be featuring Pastor Donnie McClurkin. This is a free admission, and for more information, call 247-0205. Last, we have, coming up this Friday, August 19th, a free health screenings at Man Up Mercy Health. This is a man's expo for health.
That's great. Okay, I was going to say, for the Heritage Breakfast, make sure you get in line early. It is free. It's at Word of Deliverance Church on Friday, August 19th. Also, go to your Board of Elections or Hamilton County Board of Elections online. See if you're registered to vote. The voter polls have been purged with a lot of names. We want to make sure you are registered for the November 8th election, so check that out. Then come on down to Black Family Reunion and get registered if you're not. So, all right, we want you to have a great week. Stay safe and stay positive.